A train wreck to spin fire, the NFT analyzer, diving deep into projects. He's the crypto analyzer. From your networks to forecasts, he can tell where to freeze the tree, show you where it's sell. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision.
Good morning, boys. Mega GMs. Welcome to the Swarm Report. It is Thursday, October 30th. Wow, okay. Just realized we got one day to go in the month. And, things are looking pretty awesome. They were looking pretty awesome. Now, all of a sudden, I'm wondering, do we actually finish October up? Damn, dude. Okay. We're going to have to look at that real quick. How we doing out there, though? It kind of FOMC yesterday and rate cuts, and we'll get into that, but kind of went exactly like it's like we expected, priced in. I think part of the conversation maybe wasn't priced in. It's not something we didn't know, but market it's not looking spicy right now. We'll look at that. I want to spend today looking at actually robots, man. We saw the Neo robot revealed yesterday. Really cool, really freaking cool, and also really probably way too early to get excited about that. And you know how I feel about robots in general. Like it, get it. I'm not sure about the opportunity for us. We'll dive into it today. Quick GMs, Gravity, good morning, man. Yeah, dude, up early for sure. Drop King, good morning. Join us here too. Good morning, sir. Cats, good morning, buddy. Excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Prediction Market Show. Cats joins us on the Friday community stream. Predict Base we'll have on tomorrow too, which is awesome. Get a chance to catch up with those guys, talk live odds, talk how that platform is doing, and looking pretty damn nice right now. So, yeah, the Predict Base guys. Cooking. Launched a market yesterday with the CyberKongs too, so trying to bring, a different audience over to that side. So far, so good. We'll keep pushing on that. All right, let's get into the stream. We got an awesome guest coming up here in about 30 minutes. We have Hexar, who's launching on virtuals, I think, tomorrow. I got to double check. I'm pretty sure it's not today. I think tomorrow's the Hexar launch. But, yeah, we got to keep these conversations going, man. A lot of great teams still building. A lot more coming. But, yeah, we'll keep talking to them, man. I want to learn about their products. You see what happened with VPay. I mean, we don't want to miss the good stuff, dude. VPay. We're the only show that had VPay on, and that ended up being like one of the best plays in virtuals. Probably in that top tier. Okay, guys, we're live. You know the drill. Live on X, live on Abstract. We're live on YouTube. Come over to the YouTube side and subscribe over here. I'm trying to kick off the Abstract stream. I don't know why that one's always so finicky. But make sure you come over to CryptoSlam and subscribe over here. Of course, follow the Swarm _AI, SlamAI _XYZ. Why do I not know that off the top of my head? Hang on. Yeah, there we go. SlamAI _XYZ. And then, CryptoSlam.io. Quickly run through the market. I want to make sure we have time to talk robots. It is such a, that's now all of a sudden a mainstream topic, rightfully freaking so too. But Jerome Powell yesterday, FOMC, yes, 25 basis point cut. We all were expecting it. And, we at least had some thoughts that what if it's no cut? And what if we get the other side? It's the 50 basis point cut. Both super unlikely. So we pretty much all had locked in that 25 basis point cut. Exactly what we got. But also saying that quantitative tightening ends coming December 1st. Great. Now we've heard that before too, but great. Both of those things priced into the market. What I don't think was priced in yet, and I think we're starting to see getting priced in, and I think we'll continue to see priced in. Hang on, there we go. And it's kind of what you're seeing reflected in the market right now. We may not be getting rate cuts here in December. We might not have any more rate cuts coming this year. That's the worry right now. VPay, I don't know if you saw, VPay got to, I want to say 25 mil FDV, and it might have been a little higher than that. VPay is on fire right now. The neobank meta just getting started. VPay is going to do really, I think VPay is going to be 50 to 100, which big range, but VPay's got a lot ahead of it. I want to get them back on the show. I want to get a Swarm card for you guys too, right? You know how they have those cards that are branded. I want a Swarm card, or actually, I would love a Slam card. That'd be cool to get a Slam card. I want to partner with those guys for sure. So, market here, past 24 hours not looking great. Like I said, the other stuff priced in, the 25 basis point cut priced in. Not priced in was talk that we might not get rate cuts in December, and that's exactly what happened, right? So all of a sudden, market's looking interesting here. We're not going to have, if the government remains closed, we're not going to have inflation data. And without inflation data, they can't cut rates. Housing market not looking incredible too, right? That's the biggest factor out there, by the way. It's housing. Heard that. Did we talk about this, guys? From the, was it the CIO of BlackRock? I don't remember if we talked about this, but a mutual, a friend, acquaintance, whatever, had met with him. And he gave his thoughts on the market, and he's really bullish on stuff still, like really, really optimistic on Bitcoin and crypto in general. But he said the housing market, bring down rates there, that market cooks all of a sudden, it's game on for everything. That was the one most important thing to him, getting rates down over there. So biggest factor there. No cuts coming in December, though. Talks about that is what you're seeing reflected in the market right here, right now. Bitcoin, going to try to hang on to 108. ETH falls under 4K. We're at 3,800. BNB down to 1,100. Ripple 250. Solana 187. I do want to see again where we started the month. So, yeah, okay. We started October. Wow. Okay. We started October at 116. We're probably going to finish down. Damn. All right. Not great. Not great. Also, I think it'll be fine by the time we get to December. Also, emergency cuts can come whenever, and I'm expecting the government to open back up. I like this view. Do you guys like this view? I kind of like this view better. We tested this yesterday on the new, other stream. I like this view. I might stick with this for a minute. Again, I think right now it doesn't matter. Trading sideways, just chop for the foreseeable future is all we have right now. We got good news out of Trump and President Xi meeting, which is great. What do you need? Hang on. Good to see you, Marty. You need more SC. Oh, got one. Got one this morning, dude. Those are actually starting to pick back up, so I got one for you. Anyway, quickly, Bitcoin ETFs, 470 mil in outflows. On the Ethereum side, let's see, 81 mil in outflows yesterday. And then Solana, which is looking really spicy now with the new Bitwise ETF, 47.9 mil in inflows. Good stuff here. I'm going to kind of race through these headlines. I want to get to robotics. But again, China-U.S. meet, both with nice things to say about each other. I'm one of those people, I like looking at the body language and the handshakes and, that game. And Xi won that. He won that, which is awesome. Look, there was some good that came out of it. Actual tangible things. We saw the soybean purchase yesterday. So good stuff coming out of the meeting already, and they are going to be meeting again. The U.S. reducing fentanyl tariffs to 10%, effective right now. Great. Tariffs on China reduced from 57% to 47%. China to discuss chip restrictions with NVIDIA. Right now, NVIDIA can't ship their chips to China. Completely banned there right now. So discussion happening there. No more obstacles on rare earth minerals, which great. Something with Ukraine too. Anyway, it was good news that came out of this. You would expect that to kind of maybe send these markets, maybe, and didn't. It's all about December rate cuts right now, and with the chance that we don't get a rate cut, then yikes. All right, hang on. I gotta tweet the stream. Let me get this out. And then I'm going to race right over to robots because that's what I want to spend our time talking about before Hexar comes on here. But there we go. China going to buy, 25 million metric tons of soybeans. So they're making deals. Need that, dude. We need that. Exactly what we were hoping to hear. Something like that. TikTok deal in a couple of weeks. Oh, in weeks or months. Cool. I'm really curious, guys, what TikTok looks like with different ownership and what that algorithm looks like. Do you expect it to be different? Do you think my kids are going to notice a difference? I kind of think so. By the way, that soybean deal is for the next 3 years. So, yeah, pretty spicy. Okay, tweets live. Let me drop that in the chat here. How many of you guys watched the Neo video? And more than that, how many of you saw it and were impressed by it? It's hard for me to not get excited about that. It's, you know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff I think when most of us were kids, we kind of dreamed of, and it's here. That Neo thing's wild. I want to watch the video. I was planning on watching the whole thing. It's 10 minutes. We're not gonna have time for that, but still. Quickly, couple other headlines, then we'll get to the robots. Solana, we talked about the ETF hitting a record for 2025, right? 56 million in volume. Pretty spicy. Now, at the New York Stock Exchange, it looks like we're going to get the Solana banner hung over there like we saw with we saw that with Polymarket, right? There we go. 100 retweets and they'll wrap the New York Stock Exchange in the Solana banner. If that's not this morning, I don't know. I'm trying to look at the timing. Yeah, that's this morning. So that's coming up. Yeah, we should see that. We should see screenshots of that dropping here soon, which is great. Hey guys, consensus, not just dropping a mask token, right? But we're also getting a consensus token. So be on the lookout for that. Pretty spicy. We have Coinbase earnings today. Very curious about that. MasterCard acquires Zero Hash for $2 billion. You know, my thought is a lot of the projects that we're maybe in right now in the ICM meta, and that's the virtual stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of these projects get acquired for big bucks, That's how I think a lot of this actually plays out. It's kind of my thesis with Billy Betts. We'll see. But I think we see a lot of that. I think we see a lot of really awesome crypto startups acquired by some big old names. I think we'll see a lot more of that. OpenAI prepping for an IPO. 1 trillion valuation. Spicy. And they got NVIDIA, who's going to become the first $5 trillion company here, which is wild. And there's a big old conversation that the entire stock market actually looks awful. That it's actually in a recession other than like the 5 like big AI, tech companies. So like NVIDIA, right? And aside from that, people calling this the biggest bubble we've ever seen. It's these like 10, 11 stocks propping up the market. Wild. I don't know. I believe it. Sounds right. Quickly, Mega ETH. Almost $1.4 billion committed to that pre-sale, putting it at a valuation of 27.8 bill FDV. Crazy numbers there, man. That's, wild stuff. Anyway, quick look at some of those top stories. Macro, and now robots. And this is perfect. I'm glad this all happened right around now because it fits right into our story today. Let's play a little of this video. Actually, I think their song is copyrighted, so I'll get that strike. Did you guys see it, though? You guys saw the Neo video? I'll play it without the audio. We'll just have it kind of running in the background. So here you go. We've been paying attention to the robot meta for a little bit. We've got in the virtuals ecosystem projects that, are developing robots. And then we got projects like Virtuals and like Vader who are on the data side, capturing like real world data, a lot of it from the first person perspective, and you use that to train robots. And I get why after seeing Neo right after seeing Neo and starting to understand like what it can do, and more importantly than that, what it can't do. In the video and the demo of this robot, almost everything you're seeing, kind of cool, right? That he can load and unload your dishwasher and maybe fold your laundry, but he can like move your laundry and he can open doors and all this stuff he can do. It's awesome. And they will be able to do this stuff. Almost everything in this video. Let's even skip ahead to some of those actions. Almost everything in the video is not actually him doing it autonomously. It's literally a dude wearing like an Oculus and like piloting the thing. There's almost nothing this can do autonomously yet. And maybe that's fine, right? Maybe that's fine. Like whatever he's doing here, not autonomous. Literally some dude piloting this thing. Only thing I think in the entire promo video that the robot could actually do here, like this, not autonomous. Only thing he did that was like autonomous was walk to the door, open the door, and basically just walking. That's the only thing he can do autonomously. This, somebody's piloting him, which is crazy. So they've opened up pre-orders for this thing. You buy it outright for $20,000. There's a couple parts in here. I don't even know why they put it in. Like he can pick up a pencil. Maybe they're just showing his like dexterity or like finger sensitivity, that kind of thing, right? And then when he goes to the sink to like show he can like wash dishes, I don't know if we'll find that part. He washes his hand. Like there, yeah. These two parts I didn't quite get. Picks up the sponge and sponges off his hand. I don't know. Either way, cool tech, but way too early. And we just ran through that with AI. Like how many AI agents did we bet on? Because you got the promise of what they can do. And then we've been sitting here waiting for a year to see them do it, and they can't yet. Most of them can't do what they're supposed to do yet. So we've gotten a good feel for what it takes like to train these things, right? I dig it too. If self-checkout vibes, I dig. And I get where this is going, and I get how everything they're showing in the video, it's going to get there. But man, it's not there now, and it's not going to be there when these ship. I'm trying to remember when they ship too. Is it like a December thing or next year thing? But they're not going to do this when it ships. It's going to be some really basic stuff. Maybe the stuff that they're showing here, maybe that comes like automated. But it's going to mostly be if you got, you know what it is? It's like the Vader thing. They're using this so you can train the robot. It's kind of what it is. They're getting these in your hands so you can get the data for them to train the robots and then do the task. Guys, this is years off. It's years off before this starts happening. But still, it is what people are saying it is. It is a, like multi-trillion-dollar industry or opportunity, just like AI is, and it's all part of the same conversation. I get why Virtuals is pushing in that direction. I get why Vader's going there. I get it. It is that. But, robot gets announced. Well, it brings the robot meta here. Sailor tweeting about robots too now. But it brings the robot meta here to the public in a different way, right? It's almost like X402. It was already there. It catches. There's that moment where it catches. Well, it just kind of caught. Ooh, we got to find... Hang on. We got to find a category of robot tokens. And I want to see if they're actually all up pretty decently. I kind of think they are. Let's see. Oh, shit. No, like robot stack is down 34%. Hang on. Do we have a category? We do. We do. Okay. Probably pumped yesterday. Oh, dude. Interesting. Almost across the board, everything's down in the past 24 hours. In the robot meta. Interesting. I wonder if it's because people realized like how early it is. Everything pumped ahead of time. Whole market pumped. But it ain't ready yet, boys. It's just not. It's coming. It is coming. 5 years off. That's still the target everybody has. I am stuck on that date. I'm stuck on 2030. I'm stuck there for AI being what? Like just so much more mature where it does the things we were hoping it would do, right? But the same with robots. 5 years out from now, I think 5 years out is like a pretty reasonable time for these to start doing the things we're being told they can do. Again, we've seen the pace of like how these things are built and how they scale and how they learn, right? We're starting to get a feel for how these are being iterated on. So we've seen the difference of the AI chatbots a year ago to where they're at now. They're way better, right? So let's multiply that by 5. We'll take it. 2030 is when I think this stuff really starts cooking, really. But look for those opportunities now. Is that real? Actually, can't. Half the stuff I can't even tell if it's real anymore. But Unitree, RoboStack. This is a virtuals project. I think there's a lot of really decent projects we should be deep diving in and maybe starting to play. Show. Remember them launching on virtuals too. And some of these other tokens, it is the robot meta. Again, I'm not sold. I'm not sold that the meta is going to be like a winning meta for us as trader. I'm not sure. I hope it is. Who here, God, I'm real curious about this. Who here is bullish on the robot meta? Not just that robots are going to be, everything we think, like replacing jobs and, right? Not just that, but like that we will actually get opportunities in coins and like make some money. Do you guys see it? Do you think that's like a normie meta? Do you think people, and not even just like normies, but like crypto normies, right? Is that something you think people are going to be FOMOing into is robot tokens? I have a lot of trouble seeing it still, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm excited about it, but I'm having trouble seeing it. Yeah. Still, the video excited me like crazy. But okay, reality is this is kind of how it works right now. This is even with somebody piloting the thing. Even with somebody piloting it, this is the dude, this is the robot, the Neo robot trying to close the dishwasher. And then it doesn't even close it. 5 minutes almost to dude, 5 minutes to probably put like a couple things in the dishwasher and then close it. It's not ready yet. It's not. I think they blew their load too early, man. I think so. I'm going to play a clip of this. Yeah, again, probably copyright. I am going to play this though, because this does a better job showing where we're at. But I'll say this, it's the perfect segue, and we'll get there in a few minutes when Hexar joins, but a project or a product like this makes a lot more sense when like the robot thing is becoming a reality now. You are going to have a robot in your house. Like, I'm sure of it. We're all going to have a robot in our house in 10 years, and it's going to break. And we're going to have to learn how to kind of maintain and fix these things. And I'm the least techie dude out there of like physical hands-on, and I'm going to need that. Here, let's play a little bit of this. This is a reporter from the Wall Street Journal, got a little hands-on with a robot. Didn't go well. Yeah. And so, China, that's a really good point. I think that's exactly what's happening is, I don't know if it comes from XAI or X Robotics. I don't know what the name of Optimus, right? They've got the, Elon Musk has Optimus robots, and they're probably making really great progress. And so you got other people trying to at least capture some of that attention or beat him. It's called Optimus. Okay. Trying to beat him, get ahead of him, whatever. And they're releasing I hate to say it's half-baked because it's not.
Imagine bringing your side project to life just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
It's here, the first humanoid robot housekeeper.
But yeah, they're like, I'll say this. I think this robot is right where they are right now. I don't think they're behind. They're definitely not ahead, but they're going to get ahead getting them into customers' hands. $500 a month. Hey, I'll say this, dude. If this happened last cycle, when we were all making so much more money, right? I would have one of these. I would spend $500 and it's a month. I would probably be fucked right now because I would have signed up and $500 a month I would have been spending on this thing, and it doesn't work.
Thank you, Neo.
For $20,000, you can pre-order 1X's Neo robot now, with delivery in 2026.
I think you missed a tiny spot over here.
Just one little catch. There may be a human behind the curtain, pulling the robot strings.
If I throw up, will the robot throw up?
A company representative may need to peer into your house via Neo's camera eyes to get things done.
To many people, this is crazy.
You have to be okay with this for the product to be useful.
But is Neo a useful product?
We're twinning now, Neo.
Home robots have had two big challenges: creating a safe and capable body and a smart brain. 1X is taking on both of those, which is why Neo looks so different from a more industrial factory robot.
Neo, it's 70.
Classical gears that you
Challenge. Load 3 items. That body lets Neo try.
So the finger
Okay, here we go. I want to see him actually completing some of these tasks.
strength of Neo is about the same as a human.
That body lets Neo try to do a lot of things humans do. Emphasis on try.
Can I get a water?
If only the real world didn't have doors. All in, it took Neo a little over a minute to fetch a water from the fridge 10 feet away.
Thank you, Neo.
Next challenge. Load 3 items in the dishwasher.
You got this, Neo. You got it.
Come on.
And that took 5 minutes. The Neo I saw isn't the one shipping in 2026. The new model will be safer and have better hand dexterity.
All right, yeah, to be fair, like whatever version ships, what did she say, 26? Yeah. I mean, like it's probably going to be better. It probably will have some it probably will be more autonomous than this thing here. It'll be better. Next year, hey, maybe next year really is the year of the robots. I hope so, man. I hope so. Heard Optimus has the same brain as robotaxis. Interesting. That's cool. I mean, for what it's worth, like all that self-driving tech is some of the best out there, right? Like it just is. So, like, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about this stuff. A few years from now, right now, this feels a little early to be putting it out there. Maybe I'm wrong, but this feels like we're running back the like Apple Vision Pro thing. You know, like people get in their hand and they realize it doesn't do anything. Or not much. And you know, I'm a VR nut. I love that. I was actually going to get out all my VR headsets. Is there a bloopers reel? I've seen a couple things, right? But oh, dude, that's going to be the best part of this is getting it in the hands of users and then getting them to put out their bloopers. Dude, that's the best part of this. The content's going to be wicked. Good morning, Hoods. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, if I were rich, I would have this. Just like if I had the money, I'd buy the Apple Vision Pro. I like buying tech, right? I like it. It's not like it. I love it. I love it. I get who this is for. It's for people with a lot of money or people who've been, well, so like me, they've been dreaming about like the robot and, you know, VR future since they're a kid. It's just $20,000 is kind of a different story, right? But yeah, dude, future bloopers will be amazing. So like, I can't wait. And I tweeted this morning, I can't wait for like getting these things in hand and seeing people like mod them and jailbreak them and all that. And I'm actually kind of curious if Hexar can help us do that. That said, we've got the founder of Hexar here. Dude, give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come up here. Hey, we're good. All right, cool. Give me a quick second. Dude, it's going to be fun. All right, let me get my things together. Okay, boom. And boom and boom. Hey, welcome, man.
Hi. Am I clearly audible to you first?
I think it's good. Background noise, but whatever.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No,
I'm
you're
in a
good.
coffee shop, so yeah.
It's a good place to be, man.
Yeah, thank you. So hi guys, or hi, I'm Prajwal, and yeah, so I'm a founder of Hexar, Hexar.ai to be specific. You can visit the website and check out. And should I go and introduce Hexar? Or
Let's do it. We'll do it. It's so casual, dude. Let's hear about what it is,
Yeah.
and I want to dive into like how it works and kind of who it's for. But we'll get to all that. Yeah, tell us what Hexar is, though.
Yeah, so Hexa is basically an doctor for robots or any machine in the world. That's how I put it. And the way we do it, or the way we do it is like we created like a editable brain where which can understand your machine. Because I think like the problem with this chat gpt and these tools are like they don't understand your machine well, and machines are not software. Like even robot, the recent launch you saw, Neo, we think that it's a software issue, but it's not. It's mechanical, electrical, electronics, and software. That's why robotics is hard. That's why it's not there yet, because of the hardware challenges as well. And we think that there has to be a better way to resolve this than just thinking from a chat gpt perspective. And there has to be like just the way human thinks. The best thing about humans other than llm is that we know how to forget things. The llm don't know how to forget things. I think that's the challenge. And how we kind of make sense of the information of how a software is related to a mechanical part, or to a motor basically, or a sensor. That's where we come in to picture. uh, so should I share a demo, like, probably,
Oh, I
or
would love to see a demo. Let me ask a quick
yeah,
question too. You
yeah,
mentioned that you can't do it with ChatGPT, which makes sense. Like I use ChatGPT for kind of everything, right? But I see how much
yeah,
it gets wrong when I use it so much. Like it gets a lot wrong. So something technical, I always assumed I could go and like find a product and then take like the I don't know, the technical documents, right? And just I don't want to say
yeah.
train it on it, but at least like give it that document and say, okay, here's what we're working with. Now, how do I fix something like this, right? Can it still not get the job done the same way something like Hexar can?
Yeah, so I will tell you the challenge with that. We started with that actually, but the challenge is that now let's say when something goes wrong, as I said, it's not only a software issue. It's a mechanical, electrical, and different components that are working integratedly. So now when you give this the document to it, the LLM needs to think and figure out how these things are associated with each other. And the today's LLM, I can bet on that they are not good at understanding how different components integrate into it, or integrate together. And now another problem I will tell you is that, like, how you can, like, if tomorrow one component goes out of your system, let's say, but your kind of chat gpt or still remembers from the chat history that, oh, like there is still that component which is not actually. So we are saying that there has to be the editable thing, right? Like you cannot just go, there has to be the editability in the part of this whole thing. And collaborativeness, in like everyone can use how the single source of truth of the machine, that what's going on basically. And I think that's where we come into picture. and
Okay.
and and with the tech we can literally represent any machine in the world, because all machine in the world can be represented using software, mechanical, electrical, and electronics. There is nothing out of the world after this. So yeah, so we came up with this unique approach of, and we are applying a patent for it. So should I get into it?
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen if you have something to demo, or is there a video I
Yeah,
can put up?
I think I can put on my screen. Like I can literally share a demo in a quick
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah. Please do. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, cool. Thank you so much. I will to share my screen.
This is gonna get fun because and we'll get to this after the demo too. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not technical. I'm actually scared of electronics. And I
Yeah,
was thinking about it as I'm reading over the project. I'm like, well, the cool thing is, again, if it understands electronics, it can tell me you don't want to touch that wire, or you want to unplug this source or something, right? But like, I'm scared to death to
yeah,
touch anything with wires, man. All right, let me get your
yeah, yeah,
screen up here.
yeah.
Boom,
Can you
boom.
see my
Okay, here we
screen?
go. We got it
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
cool. Thank you. So like let's say the basic example I would like to give is, like, let's say Apple MacBook Air. Like that's the pretty much every one of us have is, or like most of the people use laptops. So laptop is again a physical machine. Now, like, how do we troubleshoot this? So I can say that, like, literally I can ask, like, in my MacBook Air, I'm like, battery is not working. How should I fix it basically? Right? And literally I just have to select a project from here, and click enter on it. And now it will just ask me to sign in. Sorry guys. And I will just sign in through it. Yeah. And it takes you to this like a chat gpt kind of interface. But I will share you little by little, like, why this is unique or different than chat gpt, and where is that editable brain that I am talking about. So just wait for a second. It will come up with the answer. Uh, am I audible clearly?
I got you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, cool, cool.
Yeah. The other
Sorry,
part
my
interesting
my
here, just as
internet.
you're going through it, like, okay, I before I got into Web3, I used to manage like tech support, right? And I was
Yeah.
always waiting for the time when this would actually will replace something like a call center or a help desk or whatever, because
Yeah.
people will be able to troubleshoot their own stuff, and you'll have an agent that'll troubleshoot it with them, and this really leans
Yeah.
into that.
Yes, yes, yeah, that's true. Like that's one of the use cases I would say. So here it came up with the answer like how to check and how to fix, and I can go deep as much as possible into this because it just thinks like a human, right? Like if my MacBook is not working, then oh, first I should check whether it is charging or not, or do I have the battery percentage. The same way it goes deeper into the tree, and you can ask many questions as possible. And now I will share you the magic from where these answers are coming. Basically, I think that's the important bit. I'm just looking for this MacBook project. So you will see there is this MacBook project. uh, so now the tree here that you are seeing, it's been auto generated. So I will show you how to. You just have to create a project, let's say, yeah, MacBook, simple as that, let's say, and just create a project, and the project will be created. I can make it a public project or private project, just like GitHub repositories do, or like any public project basically. Or I can just say MacBook, and just ask like if it's a product out there in the market, so it will have probably all the information on the internet. And you can literally just say that, oh, generate a tree for MacBook, and it will literally generate. And if you have like you are working on an internal project, you can literally upload your documentation by just checking out here, and like literally create a component tree. It takes a minute, so I will show you the one that I have created, basically this one. So so you see, like as I was mentioning, that every system in the world is electronics, electrical, and mechanical and software. So in under this you are seeing different components like operating system, configuration files, and stuff like that. Then yeah, sorry. Then in electronics you have like unified memory, then neural like M2 SoC system on chip and stuff. So we think that like how do we show the correlation between an electronic component and a software component? That's why we came up with like a label approach. So I will show you like memory, or basically let's say storage and audio. So these all things are collaborated, are correlated to each other, because when we talk about the audio, it's not the audio that can go wrong, it's the software that's processing the audio can go also wrong. And because of this label, this LLM or this chatbot basically understand what's going on. So like I can say my audio is not working, it is the same chatbot basically what I should do. And I can even literally do a web search. Now this guy know like what audio we are talking about, which device it is, what components it has, and it basically doing a search on the basis of that, and it understand how all components are integrated. And another great thing is that literally everyone can collaborate on this, and this whole tree is editable. uh, and you can literally request a edit access, and the owner of this thing will grant you an access, and you will be able to edit. But now like this is a public project, so you won't be able to edit if you don't have permission. So you can see it came up with the answers like my audio is not working. So you can see there is a step by check volume and mute settings, and literally it also gives you the links to basically even see from where the answers are coming, and it's not just like faking it basically. That's where we come in picture. And also one more thing, now let's say even you are able to, let's say, troubleshoot and give it a fix. Next time you want, like your friend should be able to get the same answers, and we are working on an AI agent just like the coding do. You can literally say that, bro, like this is from the teams or whatever teams or Slack discussions we have, just copy paste that chat and just say that, oh, update the documentation, and it will literally update the particular components from where the information is coming. And whoever is using this project will have the single source of truth, and literally can see what are the biggest problems with this product as well. From the, let's say, the owner of the, like basically Apple can see that what are the issues that are going around and stuff. So yeah, this is and this is true in like literally any case. We can literally represent robots or any machine, as I mentioned. And in future we think that this problem will reduce down, but it's gonna increase, because I don't think so
Yes.
that we have yet find a solution for atoms to be like say that oh it will work 100% in every case. Yeah, so it's materials engineering and mechanical stuff.
Yeah, dude, it's super smart. Okay, so when I have any device that it breaks, and I search online to try to get some help, like troubleshooting
Yeah,
steps, right? Maybe it's the
yeah,
official site, but I usually get my best answers from going to some kind of forum where there's other
yeah,
people who like maybe understand it better or different, but also it's like where people find workarounds too. So
yeah.
like as like let's say I've got an issue with my MacBook Air, and so does like Gravity here or you, and you've solved it maybe in a different way. If you give that feedback to Hexar, does it know that, remember it, whatever, and
Yeah.
serve up like that info to maybe the next person?
Yes, so I said that right. We are working on that agent just like it happens in coding that you just type in and it updates the code. The same way we are doing that. Oh, like I have like done the troubleshooting this way and I have found this solution. Can you update the documentation? And it will go and update that. So that we are launching this week. That feature basically this
Yeah.
yeah this
I,
Saturday actually.
no, I love that, dude. So like would it give you like if it's giving you tips or like solutions or whatever, would it ever tell you if this is like an official fix versus this was a community member suggestion, like what worked for them?
Yeah, so that's where we introduced web search. So if you go to web search as well, it will tell you that from where which blog the information came, and from internet where the other guy is talking about it, where is that coming from. So I showed you the link, right? Like it gave me the link that the answer is coming from there. So we want to be super transparent with the people that we are not faking it. We are getting that answer from somewhere. If you can go and read the resource, just like web search do, Perplexity do basically. But yeah, we have our own information as well now. Like yeah, so if we cannot fix it, we are giving you the outside link using web search. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where
Was-
we are at.
you could build probably some interesting like reward system in there too, right? If somebody
Yeah,
contributes like a fix, and
yes,
people upvote it normally on the web, right? But if in
yeah,
here
yeah,
it's like yeah, there's a lot you could do with that, which is cool. Because yeah, like I'm thinking of something I did recently. I think it was my AirPods, and I was trying to run through like Apple has like a hearing test that you can do with your
yeah,
AirPods, and mine would never go through. It would just never. It would get stuck at whatever the first. It would
yeah,
say put your AirPod back in the case, let it sit for a few minutes, and then try it again. It would never work. And so I go to Apple's like official troubleshooting steps, and they never worked. They never fixed it. And it wasn't
yeah,
until I got to like a community members thing, and it was probably silly, like unsyncing and resyncing it, like more of a Bluetooth thing. But whatever it was, the solution I got was not from Apple. It was from like a regular user, which
yeah.
again, cool and powerful that you'll have that built in here.
Yeah, and also like we are working on a image processing as well, that like the chat gpt doesn't gives you the output in terms of images, how to fix it, right? Like
Oh,
chat gpt generates the image but it doesn't give you the image as output. We are saying that it should give a image as an output, the chatbot. So that makes a whole difference. It tells you literally what to fix and how to plug in this wire into that wire,
oh, dude, cool.
because the
Okay,
image is already stored in the documentation, right? So we can
yeah,
retrieve that image and show it to you. So
okay.
that's the huge difference it's gonna make actually.
Yeah, that again, I love this. So that gets back to me being a little afraid to touch certain things, and if it can give me
Yeah,
like this wire here, yeah, don't touch that one, but this thing over here, and unplug it and do this and clean it
yeah,
off, and like I get that. That makes so much sense. What
yeah.
kind of what kind of devices like are in scope for this? So like the Mac, like laptop makes sense, and we were talking robotics, so like a robot will make sense that we get it up in here too, and drones.
Yeah,
And can we get to the point, or would you picture like air conditioning unit, refrigerator, dishwasher, just
yes,
like anything electronic?
yeah. So literally, as I said, we can represent any machine, right? Like from dishwasher to like refrigerator. I'm currently working in my company, like in autonomous vehicle. I have worked for like last 5 years and doing self-driving cars, and I literally use this to troubleshoot a self-driving car. So
Huh.
imagine the complex thing I can solve for. So this refrigerator, the examples you are giving, they are like pretty comes at the lower scale, and our hypothesis was like if I can troubleshoot autonomous vehicle, I can definitely troubleshoot any device in the world. That's kind of the hardest technology, right? Like it's saying that oh, if I can troubleshoot a humanoid, then it's not a big thing to just troubleshoot a mobile phone, let's say, because it's already there, people know about it and stuff. So this is where we are at, and being spending to troubleshoot like different kind of robots. Even I'm a huge open source robotics fan, so I build robots at my home, and every time I'm like, man, like this is not true. This is not the way to do it. There has to be a better way. There has to be a contribution and collaborativeness. So yeah, that's where it came up, and I spent a lot of time understanding this problem, And the architecture that you saw, it's very unique, and I spent 6 months in just trying to make sure that how I can represent a system. And after thinking a lot, and then we came up with this new approach basically. So yeah.
Yeah, really cool. I got to tell you, man, when I first saw Hexar pop up on virtuals, like on the unicorn page, like I saw it and I read it, I'm like, interesting, okay, and that's kind of where I was at, and like spending some days with him, like I get it, I get how much we're going to need this with just more and more electronic devices in our home. Where you think right now you've got tons, and you do, like your house is filled with electronics, but it's only to get more and more, and they're only going to get more complicated. And who the hell wants to sit through like the support line and the shipping your device off and waiting for a repair and getting it returned, as opposed to maybe just
And
getting in yourself
yeah,
and fixing it. It just
yeah,
clicked in a different way here recently. And it's actually the Neo thing yesterday probably helped a lot with it, realizing, oh, it's kind of here. It's kind of here, and we're going to be
yeah.
playing with these things a lot more.
Yeah, and I think like the customer support also you are talking to, they also don't know what's going on. So they
They
are
don't.
just raising a support ticket for you, right?
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
saying like even for those guys, they are going to need this kind of tool, even if the let's say Neo company don't want to share how their robot works. But the internal team definitely wants to know that, oh, like if this is the problem, how should we fix it? So
Yeah,
kind
well
of
then,
yeah.
well,
Go on.
that's super interesting too. Then, because I was going to ask who's the target audience for this, because I see a bunch.
Yeah.
In a way, everybody.
Yeah.
It's the consumer, the person who owns the
Yeah.
machine or the device or whatever. But you could also market this, sell this to businesses and
Yeah.
anybody who has their own tech support. This is like tech support but leveled up. Is that part of
Yeah.
your thought process, and is it part of your game
Yes.
plan or roadmap?
Yeah, so our primary thought was like targeting a B2B SaaS market. The primary reason that I have seen is like when you kind of deploy a lot of vehicles or like lot of robots in the field, then you definitely get this customer support problem, and then that customer support guy is not technical and he's not expert in one field. He sees the robot or a machine from a complete perspective, and then you have different experts in the individual fields. So we are saying that their knowledge should come to this customer support guy somehow, and then he can support. So we are planning to sell it like a B2B to companies, and we are piloting, like doing pilot or planning starting a pilot with one of the huge robots delivery company, autonomous delivery company, but I cannot share more details on it.
Wow.
Then we are partnering with university robotics lab who want to use it there, because even for a research they can use this, because this guy already knows the machine, so it can research better than chat gpt, because you end up spending like answering 50 or 100 questions just explaining chat gpt what your machine looks like. So I'm saying literally everyone in your company is doing this thing, explaining chat gpt how this robot looks like. So yeah, this is where we come.
Yeah, you talking about the B2B thing, that gets me like from excited about the product to use to then, oh shit, this sounds different as something I like to invest in projects via a token.
Yeah.
It brings me there where I'm like, I see a bigger picture here. That dude, spicy.
Yeah, and
Spicy. I love it.
I would share an interesting story that literally virtuals. I presented in one of the AI demo nights in London this thing, and there was a virtuals UK lead actually who is really good friend. I didn't knew it at all Web3 actually, and he kind of get me into it, and he was like, yeah, virtuals is doing robotics and your project is great, man. Like this is the next big thing, and you need to be there on the virtuals. So the whole virtuals team is supporting me and kind of showing a belief in me that yeah, this can be huge. We just need to go on and like yeah, work on it basically. So,
Yeah. Because I again worked in IT and I have so many connections there still who have just worked their way up, and you're right, yeah, and some people in those director and VP and like very like I got to show this to some of my buddies here, because we talk a lot about this too. What I said earlier, again, this is going to replace support, or it just buffs your support. It just makes you
yeah,
infinitely better. I got to show this because we've been waiting for that product, and this is the first thing that's like got me. This got my night senses tingling all of a sudden. This is pretty great.
yeah,
Um, okay, question. This also branch out a different direction. And okay, where I say I'm not super techy with stuff, it's kind of I'm being half playful with it. Like, look, I used to like mod consoles back in the day, and I have fun like opening things up and figuring stuff out. I'm not great at that stuff, but I can follow instructions and get a thing done. Could this also go in that direction of like hacking, modding hardware too? And is that any kind of part of the plan? Is it open enough that somebody could do that? Like, here's my Xbox, here's the schematics. And here's actually instructions to mod it. Can you walk me through it with diagrams, pictures, whatever?
yes. So that's part of the plan, and the way we think about it is like that makes our model better and better as we go down, because that's open source information that's available on the internet. And this is where we can train, because if I go to a B2B customer and I say that, oh, I'm going to train on your data, the first question, oh, like, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want our data to go into this model. So we have to be like little careful, right? Like I have to think of that and kind of train into open source data that's been generated out there on internet, and also planning to partner with repair centers and stuff. So eventually there will be this gold standard data, and part of that is making it open source and available to people.
Dude, I
So
love it.
so yeah, that's where we think that it should be open. So one of the open source robot that I'm working on is like a very famous robot called SO100, and that's been used in open source community a lot actually. And that robot, everyone faces the same issue with that robot, and literally there is nothing standard document who is updating it. So that's, yeah, you will see in that image, the second image basically. uh, yeah, sorry, in the can you scroll to that traction part? Go
Which is
down a
it?
bit. Can you go down a bit?
Are we here or below?
Below. Sorry.
Below. Okay. Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah, in this image, yeah. So you can see below that autonomous vehicle there is these two open source arms, black and white. So those arms are quite famous because they do like something called reinforcement learning, which has been what's this new and everything is working on right now. So we are starting with those kind of projects because we know that there is already community that exists and they want a solution for it to work. So that's where we are coming into picture. So, and we are gonna do it more across more machines as we go down, but it's just like literally two guys working on it right now. So yeah, it's a bit overwhelming for us, but yeah, would love to carry this forward.
Okay. Oh man, great stuff. Who else? I'm just curious in the chat. Who else is like? Who has this clicked a little differently for? Just even right now in the past 30 minutes. Like for me, it definitely has. Like very, really, really exciting. I get it. I get it. Talk a bit. We have just a few minutes. I'd love to hear. Well, three things, and I'll just tell you ahead what I would love to get into real quick. It's roadmap, it's token kind of utility of it, but also your background, because right, like this is really you've got a skill set. I think that makes this make a lot more sense. I always say when I talk to founders, I realize who can and can't deliver on the thing that they're talking about, that they're proposing here. And I read into your background, I'm like, oh shit, well this is somebody who I know can. Let's start with the roadmap. What the project will look like when you launch here tomorrow, and then a few months out, and then let's go even a year out.
Yeah. So first of all, like, thank you. And the roadmap. Talking about the roadmap, the first thing we are planning to do is like do the image integration basically, like the image thing that I mentioned to you, right? Like there has to be a retrieval image, and it's not that easy. You have to think of lot of things. So that is part of our that thing, and improving the infrastructure, because the infrastructure is not free. It's gonna cost as we scale actually, and it's all happening on cloud. So that is part of it. And making it reliable, I think that's one of the most important point, that out of 10 times it's answering, the 9 answers are correct. Like that's the bar we are talking about. Another thing, like enabling B2B. So one of the things that we want to do is that first go to these B2B customers and go for open source community, and then kind of scale it to a D2C product. uh, Another thing, talking about this coins, that we were like thinking of, that can we use blockchain to kind of go one step ahead, that make a plug-in device. Like, there is a lot of talk happening on predictive maintenance of the machines. And I spoke with one of the professors at Royal College of Art London, and those guys are working on using blockchain for kind of predictive maintenance of the machines. So that is one of the field which sounds interesting, and we want to do that as we go down the line. uh, and you can like be the part of basically the whole physical AI economy through our AI agent, or through basically the Hexa coin that we are going to launch tomorrow. So yeah, that is the thing. The second question, I think you asked about the team, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. So talking about team, so I have been working in autonomous vehicle and robotics since last 8 years. Been doing like working with Jaguar Land Rover, if you know. So I have been part of their autonomous driving team, and currently I'm sitting in Oxford. I work for a Oxford University spun out startup in autonomous driving software, who makes completely driverless cars. Basically more on the software side. That's where my background is. I have contributed to open source robotics as well, and I do lot of. I'm an enthusiast, robotics enthusiast in that sense. And this kind of background led me explore to like what are all the possibilities of the robotics and how the future looks like and how can I contribute. And and this was my dream where I'm working right now, the company where I work. But now it's like, oh man, I need to think beyond a dream now. This so I was like this. There has to be a purpose that I'm solving for next 20, 30 years of my life. And I think Hexa is that purpose for me. And even my co-founder is my best friend. He works in robotics for last 8 years. Big work with Honeywell Robotics, computer vision. So we kind of gel very together. So I'm the CEO and he's the CTO. So yeah, so that's where we are at. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what gets me also again excited. It's knowing when people have worked in the industry, you know the connections they've made, and you know how they can get. At least it opens the door to get these products in front of those people. And like, guys, we kind of saw that with Aristotle, right? And we knew the founder of that and who he worked for, and you know, I mean, we saw what happened with that token price. So I pay attention to, again, who people work for, who they're around, who they might know. It's the same thing I look at with something like Quant Fund. Same thesis there. So you guys got the chops, and it sounds like you're around all the right people to get this thing, like, you know, really pushed out there, dude. Really interesting. You might have mentioned this right when you're talking tokenomics, but is the platform gated by holding a certain number of tokens?
Uh, I'm not sure about that, but as a founders, we bought 21.3% of the supply to basically show our commitment to, like, we believe in what we are building, and we are not here to do a pump and dump
Nice.
basically.
Nice.
So yeah.
But like
So,
using the platform, you're not going to have to hold, like me. Do I have to hold X
Yeah.
number of tokens to use the platform, or is it going to be open for anybody to use?
Yeah, so that's what we are thinking in long term, that how can we allow people to spend using the Hexer coin, or even there is a functionality called Butler in the virtuals. Can we enable that in our AI agent, or like pay using that instead of a monthly subscription? So that is the talk that we are doing already with virtuals. But yeah, it's kind of long term plan.
Yeah, that's a good point, because people would always get through Butler too. Okay. Man, I love it. Well, good luck with the launch tomorrow. We'll be, let me
Thank you
think.
so much.
Yeah, of course. I'm trying to think if we're live when the token launch happens, but I'll be watching, maybe buying in this one. Like I like it a lot. Dude, after launch, as you have some updates, whatever, come back on the show and give us some updates. Like, check in whenever.
Definitely.
Hop in for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be a long show, but like whatever you want to do, let's do it. Let's get you on here and let people see what you're building, because it's pretty damn spicy. Any final words?
Thank you.
Anything we might have missed that's important you want to make sure people know?
Yeah, so like generally saying that we like it, just a general talk about this thing Neo that they launched. We think that like the same case happened with autonomous vehicles. So autonomous vehicle went on the same trajectory that, oh, wave, like this company Google Waymo said 20 years ago they started building an autonomous vehicle, and now after 20 years actually they are the only people who can drive an autonomous vehicle which is on the road. But that is also being teleoperated sometimes if it goes into a case where it doesn't know what it is doing. So there's a customer support who is teleoperating it. So whatever the FOMO that we are seeing, we are yet to get into the humanoid space, and it's gonna be teleoperated for a while. But it's kind of a chicken and egg problem, right? Like if you don't have the data to train on, how you can make sure that it works reliably. So I think it's a good initiation, but whether you pay for teleoperating a robot in your house for 20,000, that's a good question. And these machines are supposed to fail, and you see these fancy machines, right? Fancy hardware, but when it fails, it is very fancy to even troubleshoot that. Like we have to remember that, right? It's not a piece of software; it's a piece of hardware that has physical connections into it. So I think yeah, the future looks good, but ultimately the AI is gonna end up into physical AI. So it's the proper time to invest in this field, and VCs are damn interested about this field right now. And virtuals, as you see, so people are making the right bets. So I would say make a bet on Hexa. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Strong,
Yeah.
dude. Strong. Make a bet on Hexar. I like it a lot, and I hope to be betting on this tomorrow. So there we go, guys. Awesome product. Hexar's live in 23 hours. Again, we'll cover it tomorrow, but pay attention to that. Make sure you follow these guys too. It's Hexar99 on X. Hang on, come on. There we go. Hexar99. Give them a follow on X. I'll drop it in the chat here. I have a feeling I have a feeling this is going to go. Well, I hope it doesn't go under the radar, but I have a feeling it might, which I think is great. I think we got a good opportunity to get in this token like really early. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be supporting again. I get what you're doing, and it makes a ton of sense. So give them a follow, guys. Of course, follow us at SlamAI_XYZ and CryptoSlamIO over on X as well. And then lastly, subscribe to CryptoSlam over on YouTube. And then we'll be live back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time with Catch Fanatic and Predict Base, diving into prediction markets. We'll cover virtuals as well. Should be a fun one, man. So we'll see you tomorrow. Dude, thank you again for coming on. Appreciate
Thank you so much for inviting me. Like this is a huge thing for me. I think one of the thing for us is the marketing challenge that we haven't marketed.
I hope we didn't lose.
But thank you for inviting me and letting me talk to the product.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, of course. Again, come back.
Yeah.
Come back. Let's do it again. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.